As always, so much is happening across the USA in cricket, with Major League Cricket launching in July, Season 3 of Minor League coming up, and don't forget the Minor League Cricket Draft. And my friend Emily Reynolds is in the thick of it all. Emily, thank you for joining me.
Hi, Nate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great. You joined last year for the Draft Day Live show for some of the pre-recorded content, and we had a great chat then. And I just did see you this weekend up in New Jersey or New
Sure
York
did.
for the Jomboy Warehouse Ball and Play League Season 2.
Yep.
And that was really something else, wasn't it?
Goodness, they have quite a team. I was blown away by the whole entire weekend. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's something else up there. The I was telling Sam, who basically ran everything and made sure everything worked. I was telling her that everybody at Jomboy is so positive and so good and so kind of outgoing, and to trying to make your time there comfortable. It's tough to
Yeah.
tell the talent from the techs. Everybody everybody's so talented there.
Yeah, well, the intro meeting that we had and Jimmy was joking, they only hire good people and they really only hire good people. Don't know how they do it, but I actually feel the same way about Major League Cricket. So
Me
that's
too.
good. Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing. Major League and Jomboy have that in common, hiring good people. And so it's a great fit. I think obviously Jomboy, he's a tastemaker. He he helps people get into the game of cricket. He does a whole lot for cricket right now, a whole lot more than you know than a lot of people in high places do.
You're gonna be like, then MLC does.
No, I was thinking about something even bigger than that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's doing the Lord's work really for us here building American cricket. He has such flexibility to do, different things. They have such an amazing staff that makes it happen and we just sit there and admire it, which is amazing. But even for me, I'm still always every time I watch a breakdown, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see how that relates to baseball. And like then you read the comments and everybody's like, I'm a cricket fan now, or like, thanks, Jimmy, I didn't understand that before. And it's
Right.
yeah, so it's really great that they're willing to partner with us so often, and have six of our players go out to the warehouse to play some ball and play.
Yeah, and the players all had a blast. I think when you get the players to buy into the game, it's gonna be good. And all these guys are very competitive. You put a ball and a bat in front of them, and they're gonna want to win. So
Yeah.
that helps make the thing work so well. And then of course his regular team brands that he has there, that all compete against themselves. And all, if you follow any of their other products, any of their other
Hmm.
sports, you'll see that it's pretty intense. These guys, as soon as even when the cameras are off, they're all competing with each other.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And you've got the team rivalries. I love how they've set up, that the teams stay pretty consistent across like blitzball or like the floor hockey or what have you, so that you have those same guys creating that rivalry,
right,
and bringing us into it is also really cool. Like some of the guys, I don't think they understood what they were getting into for the weekend, but by the end of it, they were like, "Dude, that was so much fun! Like, if you ever do it again, I'm here in a heartbeat." So yeah.
and of course we'll see how that plays out when it's published in the next few months. But yeah, when I arrived there on Thursday at the warehouse, a lot of people were there, a lot of his staff were there. They were all watching cricket at the time. Actually, they were getting ready to play Cricket 22, the Big Ant video game. So he's spreading cricket all around there. And you talk
Yeah.
to anybody at John Boy right now, they know that this is four. They know this is six. They
Right.
know the basic rules of cricket, and
Hmm.
it's just really fun. They're all into it too. They all accept it, and to me, it's like a glimpse into the future.
Right. Yeah, and we were watching the IPL too whenever we had a break, and just seeing the guys chill on the couch and ask, our guys questions and see it really click from playing, literally just playing in the warehouse, to watching it live on TV, how easy it is to pick it up from there.
Right, right. And you know, the idea is the ball and play league is cricket rules pretty much with baseball skills, with baseball batting and baseball pitching, so that you know, people who play baseball can play a cricket style game and they can
Mhm.
learn the rules of cricket. And people can see how simple cricket is, because you know, cricket and baseball get a lot of comparisons. I think some of it's the terminology, you know, um, innings, for example, bat, ball, you know, the you know, you hit a bat with a ball, there's a bowler, there's a pitcher, they're almost the same distance apart.
Yeah.
Fielders who catch the ball, you catch it, they're out. There are some similarities, but they're very, very different sports in a lot of ways as well. They're their own sports. And so um, you know, I think this sport helps people understand just where they're similar and where they're the same. And also, you know, we have the benefit of Chris Rose and Darren Sammy in the booth together, very entertaining group. I was umpiring this year, so I didn't get to sit
Yes,
up
you
next to
were.
him. I think I was wearing the shirt that you're wearing right
Yeah, almost the same color.
now. But yeah, so I didn't get to sit up. Last year I sat up with him. I was the scorekeeper, and I got to listen to their banner the whole time and try not to laugh, trying to lose focus of my job. This year I was right there in the thick of it, and there was no
Yeah.
choice but to stay focused.
Yeah, they're quite a pair. I was up and down, so I got to pretty much go wherever I wanted to. So I started up top in like the loft area. And it's funny because Chris Rose is so loud and animated. And then once he throws it to Darren, Darren's like very like soft spoken. So because the play was so loud and everyone was very excited, there was a lot of movement going on. You could not hear Darren like speak whatsoever. So I'm actually really excited to watch the season because I have no idea what Darren said.
Yeah, yeah. So you and me both then. We're in a similar boat there. But speaking of Darren Sammy, you know, it's funny when the cameras aren't rolling there at Jomboy, there's sports on the TV. I think I watched more sports this last 4 days, and you know, in the midst of everything, than I have in probably a month put together. Just you know, I love watching sports, but there's always sports on there. And Atif Nawaz was with us, and he left when I saw him on the way to the airport. We talked a little bit, and he was like, you know, he's like, I don't think you can really compare American sports fans to like any other sports fans in the world. You know, he had a lot of really positive things to say about the American sports fan. Of course, we were with extreme American sports fans,
Definitely, yes.
with Jomboy Media, but you know, it was kind of cool hearing him say that, compliment, you know, the sports in the USA, because it is a big deal here. And right now we're in the middle of NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball's ramped up, IPL's going on. So there's so many sports to pay attention to. And you know, we got to watch a little bit of everything. And speaking of Darren Sammy and speaking of all the sports and all the competition, you got to bat and bowl with Darren Sammy.
Yeah, I pulled him out of retirement for a little bit, I guess. Um I was playing with Atif and I don't know where he went, but then Darren Sammy came down and Darren was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bowl to you." And I was like, "All right, let's go." Had a few cut shots, which I was very proud of. And then he did probably bowl me one time for sure. But I can't pick spin, so he was doing both and I was just like, "Nah, I don't know." And then I was like, "All right, give me the ball." And he's like, "I haven't held a cricket bat in forever." And I'm like, "I don't care. I'm still bowling to you." Granted it was what, like, I don't know, 15, 20 feet,
Nah,
not 22 yards. So,
it was at least a good 38 feet away. Yeah.
okay. Well, yeah, I felt very sore afterwards though. The next day I was like, probably shouldn't have done that without stretching, but when given the chance to bowl against Darren Sammy, you take it.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, he had some good things to say about you too. And I told him, I said, look, Emily's only been playing for a few years, what, like 2, 3 years. If what I think about 3 years, right?
Um, I guess my first lesson was October 2020. So we're close. We're close to 3 years.
Closing in on 3. I told him, I said, she hasn't been playing that long. If she had played earlier, she'd be on the USA team by now.
Oh, if I was younger, that would be the dream.
There you go. Well, now you're with Major League Cricket, and the next best thing.
The next best thing, really.
The next best thing.
Yeah, very true. Coming in July, folks.
Right. Speaking of the next best thing, Major League Cricket. We just had the draft in Houston a month ago. I can't believe it's been a month since that happened. It's been about a month since that happened.
It's been just over a month.
It's been just over a month, which is crazy to think about. That was really impressive. I've talked about it on, I think, 3 or 4 straight shows since then about how amazing it was. And it was just so much fun to be there. Now, I know someone who was there, but didn't get to really soak it in very much.
Hit me.
Yeah. Oh, and I Cricket Districts were there. If you guys don't know about them, follow them on Instagram and other social media channels, YouTube. Cricket Districts, they make great stuff, really, really fun, entertaining content. But they were there at the draft to kind of cover the draft for their own channels. They remarked to me, they said that you were doing the job of about 6 different people in their eyes.
Maybe not that many, but yeah, I was definitely in the thick of content creation and distribution. I was not prepared for how quick the rounds would go and the picks would go. It did. I had my earpiece in and I was listening to, like the showrunner and like the production. So I heard when the picks were coming in, but not announced yet. And I was like, oh my God, I still need to write copy for this. And it was just like, it was literally one after the other. I guess I should have prepared a little bit better. But I had to pull Tom, my boss, in and be like, I need you to write copy because it's round 5 and I'm only on round 1. So
it did go fast.
It was, I know, and I was so sad because it looked it looked so great from the stream, from pictures, like everything. And, like everybody was drinking and having a good time. And I was like, oh, I wish I could like actually partake in this. But it was cool because you don't see that in cricket drafts. Like
right.
the 100 had their draft a couple days later, and it looked very good, but it looked like it was in a mall. And I was like, I think ours was better.
Yeah. I gotta agree. I mean, they gotta do their next one at Great Britain's Space Shuttle Center. I don't know what they've got over there for spaceships. I think we got the leg up on the space industry.
It was that, but it was also that we had an audience and we had the players there, and we like really melded the cricket and American sport aspect of it.
Right.
And kudos to Josh Dascom who was like, let's do it at NASA.
Awesome.
Because the background, we didn't have to do anything. It was already like prepared for us. So
yeah, it was such a cool place. I couldn't believe how amazing it was. And does England even have a space? I guess they got to have a space industry, right? Like if they have a space shuttle there, is it like a double decker, like their buses, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually trying to think. We're gonna have to Google this afterwards.
Yeah, we're gonna have to Google
Usually I'm a pretty big Anglophile, so I feel like I should know this, but
right. Yeah, with the gin and whatnot.
With the gin and all my trips to London,
yeah, I'm a big gin fan myself. That's my favorite. We allowed to even talk about that?
I mean, I'll just turn the camera and you'll see all the gin.
There you go. So so we got the first season of Major League coming up. We have the venue, the stadium in Dallas that's being built right now. The seats, last I saw, the seats were being put in.
The concrete for the seats was going in.
Concrete for the seats. Okay, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Yeah.
but you know, it might take me a day to edit this. You never know what'll be ready by then.
That's true. I think seats are a little later. I don't have a confirmed timeline on that, but it's not this week.
Yeah, there you go. And Dave Agnew, of course, who I mentioned. I try to mention Dave. I got kind of like a game with myself. I got to mention Dave Agnew once every show. You know,
I'm I think we're all in the camp of making Dave Agnew a star head curator.
right? Absolutely. The guy's he's just too entertaining. Yeah, he he
He
needs his
is.
own social media network for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're definitely talking about doing some content around the stadium in the next few weeks to really, get fans involved and the whole cricket community just like, this is like again, like the draft, we're kind of doing something no one else has done in cricket and giving everyone a behind the scenes of how to convert a baseball stadium to a cricket stadium. So
Right, right.
we're doing the best we can there to get some more content out for people to watch and like.
Yeah, yeah. So also we've got minor league coming up this season too. Or this is the third season of minor league coming up, and the last couple of years we had the finals at Church Street Park in Morrisville. You know, I rave about this. Well, this is another thing I try to mention every show. How much I love that ground. But how great is it going there and doing the finals there? How much do you enjoy going there?
Yeah, it's a really like amazing small town feel, but then you've got, thousands of people showing up. So it's just very cool. The first year, we had a lot of new families, new to cricket families coming out, and it was really cool. Like I sat down with a family with three young girls, and was just kind of teaching them about the game. And they had to leave for like soccer practice or something, and one of the girls was like, "Oh, can we stay, please? Like, I don't want to go to soccer." So I felt that like that was a big win, and that's what the Morrisville community can do.
Right.
And we're making improvements to Churchy Park as well, so there'll be more stands for fans. There's going to be a broadcast center, so we're doing all the things to make it even better for fans to attend minor league cricket
Yeah,
and
Amin and I are
possibly
gonna
major
really
league
love
cricket.
that broadcast center aspect. Um, you know, man, he's speaking of Amin, yeah, so many wonderful things about Morrisville, about Church Street Park. Ahmed Patel being one of those, my good buddy. Uh,
Love, Aman.
yeah,
Love.
he carries our broadcast for sure. So, I'm just there to give a second voice, basically. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, talk about a star in the making. It's that one. 19
right.
years old and just on top already. It's so great to see.
Yeah, he's quite busy with school. He's got finals coming up, I believe. Um, I'm trying to give him space, but I'm always tempted to be like, "Oh man, we got to do it. We got to do an episode together." But summer's coming up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well, hopefully too, minor league draft is going to come up sooner rather than later, hopefully. So
right.
we can get you guys back on draft day live and reap the benefits of that.
Yeah, yeah, Ahmed's gonna have a much bigger role in that this year in the draft day live. Um, we're considering some silly things to do. We're thinking about some just having some extra fun there. We got obviously Dane Pete will be involved in Obus Pinar, Lahira Malanta might be there. We're gonna try to get some of the youth involved in the show to come out and chat with us. So, because 3 hours is a lot of time to fill.
Yeah, it is. But I feel like too, even like I was talking about the 100 draft, they just like went to break and posted up like a little card, and I was like, are they coming back? I don't I don't know.
We made pre-recorded content last year for that. So there you
Yeah,
go.
so gotta Gotta be back on that.
I need to contact the 100, let them know, hey guys, pre-recorded content for those segments, those times where you just
Yeah, exactly. That's the way to go.
that's the way to go. So yeah, so I guess I've sort of, they could be translated as digs at the 100 here, and I want to clarify.
We're not. We're not. We're not. We're not.
We're not taking.
I love
Actually,
the 100.
I like it too. My favorite thing about it is I like watching the women's 100, and I like that they tie the two together. I think the women's 100 is fantastic. I like the way that they do the scoring on the sides. You know, it's pretty
It was
entertaining.
yeah, I think it was a little confusing at first, but once you once you're acclimated to it, like anything else in cricket, then you understand it and it's easy and it's actually it's a cool concept, I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I do like the women's version or whatever a lot better because I stand women's cricket.
Right.
Um, so there's always multiple players in every team that I am dying to see. So yeah.
Right. Well, speaking of standing women's cricket, we just the fair break just wrapped up. We got to see a bunch of USA women cricketers
Yeah.
involved, including our buddy Gargi.
Yes. I was gonna I was gonna swear because I was gonna say, but I freaking love Gargi. And she did so awesome. A wicket on her first delivery ever at fair break was absolutely amazing. And I think I watched more of her than I did any of the others. Sadly, the time change did not make it very
Very
easy
easy.
for us to watch.
No, it didn't. I got to watch a lot of it. Of course I had to watch Gitika, you know, North Carolina. I got to stand the North Carolina women's cricketers.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I watched as much of all of them as I could. Sindhu Sri Harsha
Yeah.
wins the thing with her captaining
Oh,
her team,
heck
the
yeah.
Warriors.
That's amazing. I'm actually I'm doing the Aspire. Have you heard of the Aspire Uzi and Ani with Julia Price?
Oh, cool.
So they've started this Aspire cricket and they're doing camps. So I'm going down to a camp in San Diego and I believe Sindhu's going to be down there as well coaching along with
Fantastic.
Julia. Yeah,
Fantastic.
so I'm really excited because I think a lot of the girls will be there. I mean, it seems like they're traveling from everywhere. This is like the first women's camp, I think. That's
Great.
yeah, so very excited about that.
Yeah, you know, I really like Julia Price. She is something special. She really is. And it was great having her coach the USA team. It was great getting to
Hmm.
talk to her and see her point of view and seeing all the work she puts in, how much she really enjoys life too.
Yeah,
You know, she's
yeah,
a pretty inspirational person.
she
So
is.
I'm looking forward to seeing her hopefully down there in September at the fair break in
Yes,
Texas.
coming to the US. I couldn't be happier. I'm hoping beyond hope that some more women who haven't played, some international players are like, ooh, maybe I'll try playing in the US.
Uh you
You know,
want the
like
Aussies here.
yeah, I want the Aussies here. Like Elise Perry, do you want to come? Do you want to come to Texas?
Yeah, so you were an Australia fan. You like to watch the Australia team. Obviously, you're a USA fan.
Yes, I am. I'm an honorary Aussie according to the Aussies in our office. Um, but yes, USA, of course, once they are up against the Aussies, I will have to root for them.
Yeah, right. Now, as you talked about with me the last time that you were on the show, we talked about why you're an Aussie fan, and it's because your brother played baseball in Australia, professional baseball in Australia. Josh Dascom used to actually work for that league.
Yeah, the team that my brother played for, that's yeah, a
It's a
small
small
world.
world. Yeah,
Hmm.
and then you got into watching cricket while you were down there, and that's how you came into cricket.
Yeah, and I actually didn't, I watched it or I went to a test match with without like my brother or anybody like telling me, oh, you should watch cricket. I just like, oh, I'm here in Sydney by myself. Like, I'll go do what the locals do. And I bought a test match, day one cricket, and it changed my life.
And here you are.
And here
Thanks,
I am.
thanks to test cricket. And so that, that's something that a lot of people say, oh, Americans will never get into test cricket. I think that's
What's
crazy.
what's weird is how do Americans only know cricket as, oh, is that the long and boring game?
Hmm.
Like, I just don't understand how that's the interpretation. Like,
Right.
because T20 and the shorter format has been pushed so much harder. So I'm
Right.
like, where did this even come from? So, and then when we were talking about Jomboy and ball and play and how they're adapting it, it's kind of funny because he basically has condensed test cricket
Oh, right. But the two
because
innings. Yeah.
with the two innings. And I was like, this is so weird. We probably shouldn't say anything because it's going to confuse people even more, but here I am doing it.
Right.
But yeah, I love, well, I don't discriminate against any form of cricket. I will watch anything that's on the TV, but I do actually really enjoy test cricket. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are, oh, I'll put it on while I'm working and it'll just be on the background.
Hmm.
If it's on for me, I'm watching it. So it's really hard to get any work done where I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna watch every ball that's that's
Right.
bowled.
Right. At the start of COVID, when we were all locked inside and we couldn't do anything and I couldn't go play cricket with my friends, I couldn't play hockey. Um, I was playing a lot of Cricket 19 on the PlayStation, and I was like, okay, I've never played the test version before because I don't have all this time to sit around and play a video game.
Yeah,
But
but now
I
I do.
did. I did. I was like, I'm gonna play a full test. And that was something else. It was actually, so I got into it. I actually started like I joined a group on like a DM group on Twitter of other people that were doing the same thing, and just
Hmm.
had a lot of conversations about how our own tests were going.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I'm not a video game person, sadly, so I've not played any of the Cricket 19 or Cricket 22. But I did do a like fantasy, not even a fantasy. What was it? It was just like guessing who was going to win the women's ODI
Oh,
um
okay.
World Cup.
So you were gambling. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, with no money, but yes, you got points or whatever. Which was really fun, but also very hard because you have to designate like by a slim margin or by, this many wickets and I was actually really terrible at that. I was good at picking who won, but not not the margin.
Right. Well, I think most people are probably bad at guessing what's going to happen in a cricket game.
Because anything can happen when you're playing cricket.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna have to make now an Emily Reynolds in Cricket 22, and Emily Reynolds, West
Ooh,
Zone USA. I'm gonna have to create
okay,
a player, right?
do it. Right hand bowl, medium fast, right hand bat, middle order. Eh, good fielder.
Middle order. I'm just gonna bat you at like number 3. What about you can? It's a video game. Live your
Yeah,
dreams.
yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So we've talked about all these wonderful, exciting things so far. What are you looking forward to most this year? What is the thing that you can't wait to have happen?
Well, we need to have Major League Cricket happen. So I can't wait to see how how it's gonna go. Like opening day, I cannot wait to just like step out and see the fans and, you know, sink or swim basically on social media. But I mean, I think that's the number one goal for this year, and the dream is how we pull this off. I mean, I have no doubt that we're going to pull it off, but it's just like right now we're in this, middle area where we've got 79 days or whatever it is, and you're just like, it's going to pick up and you're just waiting for it. You're waiting for that domino to drop, and I'm like, all right, let's go, because I do my best work under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like I do too, but it's like I'm still like one thing at a time type of guy. You know what I
Yeah, yeah,
mean?
yeah. So definitely looking forward to that. I mean, we've already had the Women's T20 World Cup and the Aussies one, so I'm set there. Um, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Ashes as well. Um, on at the same time, almost
Right. Same
as
time.
MLC. The women's one is earlier though, so I'm gonna try to catch some of that because we've got the two best, I think, England and Australian teams that you're ever gonna see. So definitely tuning in to watch those whenever I can.
Great. Sounds good. Well, Emily, it's always good talking to you. And
You too, Nate.
I know,
Even though we just spent the whole weekend talking to each other.
right. Exactly. Yeah. But you know, it's good to talk to you anyways. So and we're going to continue to talk, you know, and hopefully we can have you on again before the season starts, because I know once that hits.
Yeah, whenever we have some big news to talk about, which we will have a lot of.
Good, perfect. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Nate. Talk to you later.